Okay, don't mind how in this first shot it's sideways. I forgot to fix that with my phone, I'm sorry. So the first color we're using is matte white, which is from the Fanatic starter set from the Army Painter, and it comes with 11 different starter colors, and yeah, it's a pretty useful set if you're just starting out. Next we're going to use a color called Bamble Grove. This is from the John Blanche Volume 3 set. It is mostly just cool colors, and Bamble Grove is a really nice color for like light jeans like what Lili has, and I think it would be a pretty good fit for her. Next we're going to use a color called Ironclad Gray. This is from the John Blanche Volume 1 set, and it is honestly just a variety of colors. And Ironclad Gray isn't completely black, but it is a really dark gray. And when you look at Lili's tote bag, it's not completely black, it has a little bit of a light side, which is why I decided to use Ironclad Gray. Next we're using a color called Sun Petal. This is also from the John Blanche Volume 4 set, and it is a very bright yellow, and we're going to add on a wash later so that it's not as bright, and I usually use these for like the blonde hairs on my Zombicide figures, so yeah. Next we're going to use a color called Hearthborn. This is also from the John Blanche Volume 4 set, and it is a pretty nice skin tone for like pale guys, like Odin, Tiger Sam, and Lili, of course, since we're using it for her. So yeah, if you don't have any skin tones, Dew Path is a nice thing to use. Next we're going to use a color called Moon Petal. This is a nice hot pink, and it is from the John Blanche Volume 3 set. And I really like this color because I don't have that many pink tones, and I think it's a really nice color for Lili since, as you can see, her teddy bear is like a hot pink color. So yeah, this is a perfect color. Next we're using a color called Root Path. This is also from the John Blanche Volume 4 set, and again, it is a nice army brown, but you can also use it for woods, and since I didn't have that many wood colors, I decided to use Root Path for Lily's baseball bat, since I think it would still look nice. Next, we're using a color called Plate Mail Nettle. This is also from the Fanatic starter set from the Army Painter, and it is a nice metallic for guns, blades, honestly any thing that's made of metal. I mean, metal's literally in the name, so it's a really good color for those things. Next, we're going to use a warm skin shade. This helps add more contrast to the skin, and it'll make it more dark if you want. And I like it because it just makes it look more detailed. Since washes, that's pretty much a wash's job. It adds more shadows and depth. So yeah. Next, we're using a wash called Grim Dark Shadow. Again, this wash is not really a dirty look, unlike Strong Tone and Soft Tone. It just adds more shadow to the minifigure rather than dirt. So I really like to use it on survivors since it just adds more contrast and more depth to the minifigure. Next, we're going to use some brush on primer so we can brush it around the rims, since I like to add color to my minifigure rims, since it like color codes it and stuff, and yeah, I like to use white. Next, we're going to use some Army Painter basing glue on the base. This will help all the dirt and tufts stick on, so yeah, this glue will just help with all of that. It'll make it look smooth and rough at the same time, if that makes sense. Next, we're going to use some brown battleground. This will make the ground look more like natural. It'll add some rocks, mini rocks, and texture to it. So yeah, this is why we put on the glue, so that the dirt would stick on. Next, we're going to use some of these swamp tufts. The glue will help the swamp tufts stick onto the dirt, and I added some after so that it would stick on. And you guys should know I got all of these from the Battlefield's basing set from the Army Painter, so you guys should check it out if you want to add basings to your miniatures. Next, we're going to use some matte white around the rim of the base. You guys don't have to follow this step, but I like to add color to the rims, as I said earlier. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this miniature. You just have to let it dry, and then you can add matte varnish to it, so that the paint doesn't like get scratched and stuff.